So the latest Nintendo released Nintendo Switch game for the Nintendo Switch is yet another Wii U port. This would be the third Wii U port that we've seen in 2018. After Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Nintendo is releasing another Wii U game to the Nintendo Switch with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Now this was a fantastic game on the Wii U, releasing in 2014, and I remember playing this game and really having a lot of fun with it, but I also remember it being a single player experience and not really a whole lot of reason to go back and check it out again. So honestly, I'm probably not going to review the Nintendo Switch version of the game. I don't really see the need to do it because obviously I've played the Wii U version to death, so there's really not much of a reason for me to check out the Nintendo Switch version of the game. So, oh come on! Alright, well I guess we're checking out the Nintendo Switch version of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker because there are some differences and maybe you didn't play it on the Wii U. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about why I bought Captain Toad Treasure Tracker again.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards!
So if you've ever played Super Mario 3D World on the Nintendo Wii U, you might know the gist of what Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is all about. Remember those Captain Toad levels that were in the game where it was sort of like a puzzle game? It's pretty much a full-fledged version of that. It's just spanned out into an entire game. The game starts out with Toad and Toadette looking for treasure, and then Wingo comes along and picks up Toadette, carries her away, and takes a big gold star. And there's your pretty much reason for playing this game, is to defeat Wingo, to stop the madness known as Wingo from collecting stars and find treasure, I guess. So as the game progresses, you end up playing as both Toad and Toadette, and then you use them together. There are different segments in the game, but the core of the game is a puzzle game. Basically, you're thrown into a puzzle, and then you have to find different things within the puzzle. The main goal is, of course, to get the star in the puzzle, but there's side tracks as well. There's things like diamonds you can collect. Each stage has 3 different diamonds, and your goal is to sort of get all those diamonds as well, but it won't really impede your progress. You see, the main thing is just getting to the end of the level, getting the gold star, and then moving on. But there's reason to go back and do things as well. There's the 3 diamonds like I aforementioned, and then there's also stage specific things that have you looking for something within a stage. So once you beat a stage, you haven't really beaten the stage. There's reason to go back and play it again if you want to unlock more levels and more content within the game via bonus levels. There's a ton of different bonus levels within this game, and that's something I really like about it. There's definitely a lot of reason to go back and replay the levels and 100% complete them as opposed to just rushing through them. Now the main thing the Nintendo Switch version of this game does is add in some Super Mario Odyssey theme levels into the game. And I've been reading online that it's like, oh, it takes 5 minutes to beat these levels. And maybe if you just rush through it, but some of these levels actually took me a little bit of time. Sure, the minecart level was pretty self-explanatory and pretty forward, but these other levels I thought were actually really well crafted, and there was a lot of reason to go back and play them because I couldn't quite figure out how to get all of the diamonds and do all of the things within the level. Sure, I could get to the end of the level in a pretty quick manner, but I really like these new levels. There's 4 new levels inspired by Super Mario Odyssey, including a new Donk City level, which was pretty much my favorite. I am a huge fan of New Donk City from Super Mario Odyssey. I honestly think it's the best level in a Mario game ever. So to see it sort of scaled down into Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was something really cool. Now, there's a way that you can actually access these levels right off the bat. If you have a Super Mario Odyssey amiibo, you can access these right off the bat. You actually don't have to play throughout the whole game. So I picked this up as someone who has played the Wii U version to death and actually defeated the Wii U version because those are the levels I was really interested in checking out. Now, are those levels alone worth throwing down $40? Not really, but what's interesting about Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is this game came out in 2014, and that's when I played it. So a lot of these puzzles, I really forgot about them. It really still feels kind of fresh to me because it's been 4 years almost since I've played this game, and honestly I didn't remember a lot of things. When I was playing through the game and there's a segment where Toad splits into 2 and then you have 2 Toads and that's how you solve the puzzles, I completely forgot about things like that within this game. It's not necessarily the most memorable game in the world because of that. You know, it doesn't have a deep story, it's a puzzle game at its core, but I do like how it still feels fresh to me. Even though I played this game and beat this game years ago, I really forgot about things like that. So if it's been a couple years since you played Captain Toad, it might be worth revisiting again. Now, visually speaking, the game looks really damn good in my opinion. I thought it looked really good on the Wii U, but it still looks really good on the Nintendo Switch as well. They've upped the resolution to 1080p, and everything just looks really vibrant and crisp. And honestly, the new Super Mario Odyssey levels look fantastic. They look like they're a part of the game. They look like they were there originally, but I really just like how it's fun to revisit these areas from Super Mario Odyssey, and they did a great job of sort of scaling it down. Now, the way Captain Toad plays, like I said, is you're trying to get to the end of the level, but there's different ways to do that. It's not just clear cut. So basically, there's enemies within the level, and the ways you get rid of these enemies is via turn-ups. You can pick up turn-ups by pressing the B button when you're next to a little sprout, and you can then throw these turn-ups. Toad can also run by holding down the B button, so that's really to be used at your disposal as well. Now, what's interesting is you can also do different things within the levels themselves, such as adjust platforms, because platforms have to raise and lower so that you can get through the levels, and this really sort of switches up things as the game goes along. I wouldn't say it's an easy game, but I wouldn't say it's a difficult game. There's definitely a nice learning curve to the game, and it definitely just gradually sort of increases, and you'll never really struggle all that much to finish the level. The real challenge comes within finding the secrets within the level, finding all the diamonds, completing the missions that are given within the level. Now, as far as the visuals are concerned, like I said, the game looks really good on the Nintendo Switch. It looks great playing it in dock mode, and it looks great playing it in handheld mode as well. I thought the handheld mode was actually very visually impressive. There's really no loss in graphical fidelity, and everything just looks and plays really well. One thing that they sort of switched up on the gameplay is the way that you sort of look around the level. You look around the level with the L and R triggers, but in order to access the different things that you can interact with, you have to sort of use a cursor that's on screen, and I felt the cursor was a bit big, and you also do that cursor via gyro controls when you're in docked mode, and it could be a little bit tricky at first. I honestly felt a little bit lost trying to get the cursor to where I needed to go and in a timely manner, because there's a lot of things going on. There's things like bullet bills flying at you and stuff, and I felt like initially a couple times I got hit by bullet bills and things of that nature because I wasn't too used to the control scheme. Now, when you're playing it in tablet mode, it feels a little bit more like the Wii U version of the game, where you can use the touchscreen to sort of look at things and tap on things as well. But I guess it's actually kind of interesting how there's sort of like two different gameplay modes within the game, depending on if you're playing it docked or in handheld mode. It actually feels kind of different, which is actually pretty unique for any sort of Switch game. Now, besides from the Super Mario Odyssey inspired levels in the game, the Nintendo Switch version of the game also includes a two-player mode that's sort of like Super Mario Galaxy. I played around with it using two different Joy-Cons, but honestly, I don't think it would be all that riveting. And I know what some people are saying, well, why couldn't they incorporate a traditional two-player mode where two players solve the puzzles together? You would pretty much have to retool the entire game to suit that sort of thing. The levels that use multiple characters, two or more different Toads or Toadettes within the world, are definitely catered towards those levels. They're designed with that sort of thing in mind. So if you could only play some sort of levels with two-player mode and then some without, I don't know. I don't think that would be really fun. Now, of course, why did I buy this game? Honestly, I just wanted to check out the Super Mario Odyssey levels. I'm a big fan of Super Mario Odyssey. It was my game of the year for 2017, so I was curious to see how these levels performed and how they looked like, and I really enjoyed them. Now, with that being said, if I had played like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker within the past 6 months to a year, I definitely would not have upgraded to the Nintendo Switch version of the game. The game is $40 on the Nintendo Switch. It also released for $40 on the Wii U. And while it's a fantastic game, if you've played it recently, there's not a whole lot of reason to play it again, unless you're a huge Super Mario Odyssey fan. But if you've never played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, like a lot of people didn't play Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, it's definitely a game worth checking out. Puzzle games are sort of fun in my opinion, and I really like how they did this sort of game. There's definitely lots of nods and references to the Mario universe, and honestly, it's a really solid game. It was one of my favorite games on the Wii U. It was just sort of a low-key game, you know? It's not a game that's gonna be like, oh, this is the most hardcore experience ever. But if you like little brain teasers and things like that, and you sort of want to expand your mind and figure out some of these tricky puzzles, it's actually worth checking out, especially if you never played the Wii U version. As someone who played the Wii U version like 4 years ago, I was still surprised by different things. I forgot a lot of things, but then again, I play a lot of video games. So I'm pretty pleased with my purchase, honestly. I'm having fun playing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I'm having fun with playing the bonus levels. I'm having fun with the Super Mario Odyssey stuff. And Jesus Lord, that soundtrack. I love that intro song. It It's like, look bitches, Captain Toad is here, get out of the way, roll out the red carpet, I'm rolling in, I'm looking for the diamonds, I'm looking for the gold, I'm gonna knock out Wingo, and I'm gonna save the day. So, if you've never played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, I feel like you owe it to yourself. It's definitely a sort of under the radar game, but it's a really good game. So let me know in the comments section down below if you have any interest in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on the Nintendo Switch, or if you played it recently on the Wii U and don't feel like revisiting it. And let me know if you're gonna pick it up as well. And thank you for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm doing all sorts of stuff on the channel. There's news shows, there's reviews, there's topics, all sorts of crazy crap. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.